My name is Randall Eberts. I'm the Executive Director of the Upjohn Institute that's located in Michigan in the United States. And I've been asked to talk about key issues in setting priorities and building an integrated strategy for regional skill alliances, regional partnerships. And to do this, I'm going to use an example of one of the regional initiatives, regional partner initiatives that has taken place in Michigan over the last several years. This particular partnership is interesting because it combines a top-down as well as a bottom-up approach. It's top-down because the state initiated this particular program using state funds along with funds from a charitable organization. It's bottom-up because the state has given the freedom to local regional partnerships to set their own priorities and also establish their own strategies and implementation for addressing the needs of businesses in their particular area. It's a demand-driven initiative, demand-driven in the sense that it's looking to meet the needs of specific businesses in a targeted industry in a specific location in Michigan. And it's also interesting because even though the state expected the local partnerships to be broad-based in the sense that they included the workforce system, the economic development system, as well as the educational system, it was a state initiative that was primarily the initiative of one particular agency, the agency that was responsible for labor issues in the state of Michigan. The purpose of the regional skill alliances, and these were called Michigan Regional Skill Alliances, MRISA, so if I go back and forth with that particular terminology, you'll know what I'm referring to. But the purpose was to bring together key local entities to address workforce issues affecting firms operating in a targeted industry in a distinct geographic area, and to help improve the effectiveness and efficiency of its workforce development, economic development, and educational systems in order to better meet the needs of a struggling state economy. Its goal was to employ highly skilled workforce and to provide Michigan citizens with jobs that offer good wages and opportunities for career advancement. Its funding came from the state as well as a charitable organization, and its funding amounted to $1.5 million to sustain 12 MRISAs over a 2-year period. It was self-sustaining in the sense that they had hoped that after the 2-year period that the businesses that were part of the partnership would then step up and provide additional funding to sustain these partnerships over the long run. And as I mentioned before, it was demand-driven. Now, Michigan's economy at the time in which these MRISAs were put in place was struggling. We have in Michigan 10 million people, 5 million workers, 14.5% in manufacturing. But during this period, we lost about a quarter of our manufacturing jobs. We're primarily dominated by the auto industry, and the auto companies that are located in Michigan were having a difficult time keeping up with the market trends. And so many of those companies were shedding workers along with the supply companies that were linked to the auto industry. We had an unemployment rate that was one of the highest in the country. And we also had worker qualifications that were declining, even though we had a very strong educational system with respect to higher education. And so these were the challenges facing the state and facing the local regions in the area. The MRISAs were expected to provide activities that would address the needs of the businesses in the area, and they were also expected to provide a strong coordination of activities within the areas I mentioned. There were 24 applicants for the 12 positions that the state had to fund, and these 12 positions were very competitive. There were certain criteria that were offered, and each of the MRISAs had to comply with the various qualifications that the state provided. There were most of the MRISAs were engaged in healthcare issues, and only about 4 or 5 out of the 12 were engaged in manufacturing. They addressed the issues of the industries that were there in the partnership, and they provided solutions that the industry felt they needed in order to have a more qualified workforce for their particular needs in their particular area. Thank you.